Outriders has the best abilities that I've ever used in a looter shooter. It's a power trip approach to supernatural skills unlike anything I've played in the genre. Spectral blades reduce time-slowed enemies to skeletons and entrail ribbons, while whips of flame draw unlucky victims close before roasting them to ashes. Bullets are caught mid-air, as if manipulated by the Matrix's Neo and hurled back at their owners. A recent hands-on with Outriders provided me with almost unlimited access to this outrageous buffet of powers, and each new skill sampled felt as exciting as the last. But while acting as an extensive combat showcase, the demonstration offered little to do outside of a couple of linear, bare-bones quests. It's left me concerned as to what kind of a game Outriders will turn out to be beyond the perimeter of its great and gory kill boxes. Developer People Can Fly deserves praise for how it has made abilities the core component of the combat loop. In most looter shooters, your character's skills are the punctuation that divide lengthy gunplay sentences. In Outriders, the abilities are the sentences. Thanks to generously short cooldowns, you'll be engulfing enemies in flames or impaling them with stalagmites every few seconds. While gunplay doesn't hold up to the refined standards of Borderlands or Destiny, the lack of punch from Outriders' weapons is more than compensated for by the frequent barrage of gory spectacle. Each of Outriders' classes feels wholly distinct, rather than variations of a standard soldier template. The heavy focus on abilities means more time is spent using the bespoke elements of a class, reducing the constant chorus of class-agnostic guns. Minor tweaks between the roles provide surprisingly significant gameplay shifts too. Killing enemies regenerates health, but while the fiery Pyromancer class can leech HP from a distance with sniper shots, the roguelike Trickster must get in close enough to smell an enemy's breath. As a result, playing through the same level as the Pyromancer and the Trickster makes Outriders feel almost like two different shooters. As the former, I found myself a little too enthusiastic about Heatwave, a skill that projects a wall of flame that travels forward and through cover, searing enemies who thought they were safe behind walls. I could then follow up with the extravagant Phaser Beam to cremate mini-bosses and rejuvenate my health bar. But as the Trickster, I found myself dying as if I decided it was the latest craze. Outriders pitch you against a constant barrage of enemies, and the Trickster's close combat nature requires you to be right in the thick of the danger. Abilities like Hunt the Prey, which slingshots you into the action, and Cyclone Slice, which sends you whirling like a bladed spinning top, perfectly positions the class for up-close kills. Many skills inflict a slow effect on foes, which makes the roughest moments a little easier, but the Trickster is best suited to a player with strong melee crowd control talents. That is, not me, and ultimately I found the hordes far easier to manage at the range afforded by the Pyromancer. That's not to say Outriders' close combat is bad, but this feels like the best example in the looter-shooter genre of a game where it is vital to find the class that complements your playstyle. Are you close or ranged? Or, as I discovered, are you somewhere in the middle? A battleground supported by the Earth-based Devastator. The hardiest of the three classes revealed so far, the Devastator is able to blast into combat like a boulder launched from a trebuchet. That's almost literally one of his skills, Gravity Leap, which helps immediately close distances and deal damage. This can then be chained with Boulder Dash, which turns the Devastator into an incredible Hulk-like battering ram. Each class can only have 3 abilities active at a time, so finding a trio with accompanying skills is a vital character building block. For the Devastator, that last ability could be the self-explanatory Reflect Bullets, or it could be Impale, which I'm pretty fond of, mostly due to the animation of an enemy succumbing as a spike erupts from the earth and up through their chin. If it's somehow not already clear, I love Outriders' approach to combat. It's surprising, energetic, and wild. But even after a couple of hours with the game, I find myself still not knowing what Outriders is. People Can Fly has been clear that it is not a service game, but I'm unsure what that eliminates from the equation. Based on the hands-on though, it appears that Outriders may be a largely linear shooter, with not enough structural ambition to hold up its joyous battles. The demonstration afforded me just 2 activities, both of which felt underwhelming. The core quest was simply to follow an objective marker that snaked through camps of enemies, while the side quest, discovered by taking the only side road off the main path, was an endurance test wave battle within the confines of a bunker. The experience was sorely lacking in anything to do beyond following basic instructions. While I appreciate a focused experience, I hope that further looks at Outriders will reveal more depth to its wider world. If Outriders doesn't have a myriad of activities beyond its campaign objectives, that puts a lot of pressure on its loot pursuit to be compelling. But that's another area that I have concerns about. The hands-on provided an uninspiring assortment of shotguns, pistols, and assault rifles, and their replacements were almost identical aside from a less rusty finish and perhaps a garish paint job. For the system to succeed, it needs to demonstrate an arsenal as similarly flavourful as Destiny's. It's very easy to fall for Outriders' combat. The combination of powerful elemental effects, kill-to-heal approach, and melon-bursting headshots makes it a punchy, kinetic affair. But right now, I need to see much more of its world, activities, and systems before I'm convinced that this tremendous violence is a vehicle for something worthwhile. I hope a deeper world is waiting in the wings though, because I really want to impale a man with a spiky rock again. And again, and again.
The biggest gaming event of the year is IGN's Summer of Gaming, and it's almost here. Tune in beginning Thursday, June 4th to see the latest and greatest in game reveals, news, trailers, next-gen coverage, and more. And on June 5th, we kick off our first ever IGN Expo, where you'll get first looks at world premiere game trailers, exclusive game demos, and interviews you won't find anywhere else. IGN's Summer of Gaming, only on IGN and IGN One on your Samsung TV Plus.